Hey everybody, Gunston Undercover here. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2020. Time is 4:49 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So we'll just get right to it. I'm going to read you a couple comments I got on the sheeple flag waving video I did. Apparently I struck a few nerves out there. This one comes from Dade Murphy. He says, this guy is going to be dead in 6 months. He doesn't look like he can win a fight with COVID, and thanks to his idiot ideas, he'll catch it. And then we go down to Samuel Valperga. Con, question mark, 60,000 dead. Soon is no con. It's close to, and we'll go over the Vietnam War. Well, guess what? The death tolls already exceeded the number of people killed in 9/11. All right, people. I get it. There's a few morons out there that get their information from the China News Network or MSNBC or Fox News. You know, they listen to Jake the Fake Tapper over there, MD, or they listen to Hannity, Dr. Hannity over on Fox News, or maybe they're into the that transvestite Rachel Mad Dog, or looks like a dog, I'm not sure which it is. Okay, people, I've been giving you pretty much good information. We talked about the numbers are fudged. We talked about the death certificates are being fudged. So let's go over a few things, people, because I know there's a few fucking morons out there that are stupid. They're sitting on their couch, waiting for their $1,200 check to come in, and all they're doing is sitting there eating, smoking cigarettes, and waiting and watching the stupid lamestream news, which, if anybody doesn't know by now, it's all in the pocket. They're all in the pocket of the Democratic Party, even on the Republican side. They all hate Trump. They're all doing their best to promote this thing. They got to continue it until the fall, because we are in an election year. But regardless of that, I'm not here to debate the politics. I'm going to give you the facts. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you, I put a video out there about Dr. Birx. You know, the scarf lady? She's got to wear a scarf every time. I guess that's how she wants to be identified, with scarves. And she got on there and she admitted that the death certificates were not, well, she didn't say they're not accurate. I'm going to tell you they're not accurate. So if you have a heart attack, and drop dead, and you happen to have a chest problem, a respiratory problem, they're going to put down COVID. And I'm going to give you some examples. Now, many of you up there may know, and there might be a few morons out there that don't know and don't want to believe it. I am the guy that goes to the hospital and picks the dead body up, okay? Now, I've already picked up my share of con virus victims. So don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and don't tell me I have no experience with the con virus, because I do. I've seen several people who have already died from the con virus, supposedly. But I'm going to dispel that. So Dr. Birx has said, yeah, well, you know, if it's respiratory related and it looks like it's a convent, we're going to put that down as a primary reason for death. So that's an issue right there, and I'm going to give you a couple examples. I picked up a lady not too long ago. She was in her late 60s. She developed a respiratory problem. She was way overweight. She had diabetes. She had hypertension. She had heart problems. Now, one might say, well, she got the COVID and that's what killed her. Well, that may be true. But if she didn't have the diabetes, the high blood pressure, the cholesterol problems, and everything else that go in the overweight, she probably could have survived. I'll give you another one. We had a gentleman who was in his 90s, early 90s. He was in a nursing home. One foot in the grave, and the other one was on a banana peel. He developed a respiratory problem. He died. The doctor put down there possible result of COVID. Well, that didn't fly. We had to go back, and he had to redo it. Now, as far as I know, he was never tested. It was just a preponderance of evidence that the doctor concluded. Now, that guy could have had pneumonia. The guy was already almost there. He was almost to the promised land. He didn't die from COVID. He died because he was old, he was frail, and his time had come. So is it fair to say that that is a COVID case and count it as a COVID case? I'll give you another crazy example. Had a husband and wife. The husband had a terminal health problem, cancer. I'm not going to say what because I don't want to get specific. He came down with a COVID, and the wife came down with a COVID. He survived, and the wife didn't. They lived in a house. They had family members over there taking care of them while they were infected in the beginning. Nobody tested positive. But the guy with the terminal problem survived, and the wife, who had no visible problem that we're aware of, died. But upon looking at her, she was in her mid to late 60s. She was overweight, which means she's got high blood pressure, means she's got arterial sclerosis problems, probably in development there. For those who know what arterial sclerosis is, that is the formation of the fat deposits building up on the inside, the cholesterol building up on the inside of your veins, your arteries, and it clogs it up. And I'm going to get to you later on about that and how that relates to the con virus. In every case that we've had, with exception one, this person was in his 50s. He had a health problem, a major health problem. But majority of all the cases we got, these people were in their late 60s, and majority of them are over 80. So the COVID virus is attacking the elderly. That who's at highest risk, the elderly. Now, let's get to the next thing here. These tests that they do on everybody, it has a high rate of false positive. That means that you're more likely to test positive of having the virus with this test. Now, one test is not conclusive, but they use it as a conclusion. They need to do multiple testing to come up with an accurate reading, but they don't. They take that test, they take a preponderance of evidence of things that you have. Now, a lot of these people who are dying, they're not being tested. The doctor says, well, you know, he's got he's got a low oxygen, high carbon dioxide level in the blood. Oh, he's got a respiratory problem. He's shortness of breath. He's got a fever. Well, I got to tell you, news people, I had pneumonia once. I had a fever. I had a cough. I had congestion in my lungs. I could not breathe, and I would get out of breath very quickly. I survived. I'm okay. So the information that they are giving you is flawed. The numbers are wrong. So now there's another test out there. I'm going to direct you people to the Stanford test and the University of Southern California test that came right out after the Stanford one, which confirms the first one, confirms the other. They took a group of people, they tested them, they found out a percentage of them had the antibodies. So you take that in consideration. That means that there's a lot of people running around out here in the state of New Jersey that had the virus. Maybe they just had a little sniffy nose, maybe they just had a little cough. They didn't have a big problem with it. They got over it very quickly. You don't see any young people dying. There's very few cases of young people dying. It's not a disease of young people. So a lot of people have got it, had it, they're fine, they got the antibodies. Now the next big thing is they want to collect the plasma from their blood so they can give it to the people who have the so-called virus to try to help them. So if you take a situation where today they said here in New Jersey that the amount of people that were infected was 99,989 people, and the amount of people that died was 5,368. Now, if you take that 5,368 and divide that by that 99,989 number, that gives you your death rate. And the death rate was about 5.4. It went up a little bit. But if you take that 99989 number and say maybe perhaps there's 3 times as many of that. So let's just round it off to 100,000. So say it's 300,000 people that really have had the virus and survived, are out there, had it, to survive, they're okay. So if you take that 5,368 and you now divide it by 300,000, guess what? It comes down to, the number comes way down. And the study concluded that the amount of people dying from this disease was equal to that of the common flu. Do your research, people. Okay, I don't talk out my ass. I sit here at night and I watch videos, doctors talking. I watch doctors. I don't watch the fucking the Comedy News Network over there or Dr. Hannity. I don't listen to them. I listen to real doctors who are not in a, don't have some alternative method, reason for why they're doing what they're doing. So the numbers are inaccurate. The tests are flawed. So, and the people that are dying are not necessarily dying from the COVID. That is, you're getting misled. You're believing things that are not true or are inaccurate. That's what I'm going to tell you, that are inaccurate and are suspect. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is from what I'm seeing now, what is killing these people? These people have heart disease, and heart disease is the #1 killer in America. Heart attacks is the #1 killer. That's heart disease. Don't believe me? Go to the American Heart Foundation. Look up their statistics. Second line is cancer. 1 in 2 people, adults, will develop cancer. I see what people are dying in their 50s. People in their 50s are dying from cancer and heart attacks. That's what they're dying from. But I don't see any big push out there to shut down fast food. I don't see any big push out there to outlaw cigarettes. No, of course not. Of course not. So how is it killing you? It's very simple. If you already have a heart problems, mainly the beginnings of arteriosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, where the fat content is building up on your arteries, and your arteries are clogged, and this is what causes high blood pressure, because it takes more pressure to push the blood through, and because it's being stretched out more, that causes more pressure pulling it back. So that's your high blood pressure for you people out there that don't know what high blood pressure is. And it also has to do with too much fluid in your body. You got too much fluid, the pressure is because there's a lot of fluid in your veins, and it's too much. It's like putting too much air in your tire, your bicycle tire. It gets real hard. So what happens is when you get this virus, it gets into your bronchial tubes and it goes down into your lungs, and your lungs branch off into these little vessels, and at the end of the vessels there's little clumps of cells in there, and the little capillaries go by that, and there's a transfer of oxygen to the cell and a transfer of carbon dioxide back out. And what happens is that's already compromised because you have blockage in there because you got too much cholesterol in your blood. So that's already blocked up. Now when you get the con virus and it gets in there, what it does is certain cells in there that it likes. And it gets into those cells. And now your body sees that there's something in there, and it responds, and it starts dumping fluid in there. There's a fluid buildup into the little sacs where the oxygen is exchanged. It gets in there. The virus gets into these cells that you need, and it starts causing problems. The cells are dying off. That's causing putrefaction of those dead cells in there. And you're also getting inflammation. So what happens when you got inflammation? it gets more like that. That's why the people with the heart disease are the biggest at high risk, along with the elderly. Now the question is why some people are being okay and others aren't. Well, we all went to school with a kid who was always sick all the time, right? You always knew that one person in school. He was always sick, always out, or she was always out. I knew a girl in school. The poor girl always seemed like she was always sick. She had problems. I was fortunate growing up, and I'm still fortunate at my age, that I still got my health. I don't get colds too often. If I got it because I'm close to somebody and they're breathing into my face. But I got through the whole winter without any major cold. I had a little sniffle in the fall, that was it. So I'm not one for calling that sick. And I'm sure that's a lot of other people out there have good immune systems. They get outside, they get exercise, they're eating well, they're eating better than most people, not sitting there stuffing their face at night with pretzels and ice cream. So anyway, to you morons out there who keep telling me, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking through my ass. Well, you know what? I want to see tell me what your qualifications are. Tell me. Tell me what your qualifications. I get the one, well, I knew an EMT, I knew a nurse, I knew this person, I knew that person. Yeah, but you knew one person. And we can't believe everything the news is telling us. It's simple as that, folks. Don't believe everything the news is telling you. In fact, don't believe anything the news is telling you. They're all lies. And don't believe anything the government is telling you, because that is all suspect. You got this governor here in New Jersey that wants to bankrupt this state, wants to keep everybody home from working. And then you get a senator over here out of Ocean Township, Vin Gopal, sits there every day, puts on his Facebook page some government program that's going to help you. See, this is the Democrats didn't create this. They're just capitalizing on a problem. They saw it, they're seizing it. And these Democrats of today, they're not the John F. Kennedy Democrats of the 60s. These people want you to be dependent on the government. You know, they used to keep the minority groups dependent. They wanted to keep them on welfare and food stamps and all that because they could control them and get them by their votes. Now they're moving towards the white community or the working class people. They're moving towards that now. They want to bankrupt us so that we are dependent on the government. And this governor here keeps wanting to keep everybody shut down, and now he wants to borrow $9 billion. Who's paying all this money back? I asked Vin Gopal, hey, that's nice. Who's paying all this money back? What's your plan for that, pal? They don't have one. Just keep printing money, printing money, printing money. And even Trump, I'm not happy with what he's doing. Printing $6.6 trillion. They printed up this money. You know what that does to the value of the dollar? Right down. And we're never going to be able to pay it back. Never. We're never going to be able to pay it back. So the governor here in New Jersey, he wants to keep everything on lockdown. He wants to show everybody he's got a bigger dick than everybody else. The guy admitted he doesn't know what the Bill of Rights are. He said that's above his pay grade. So he has no problem with violating your rights. And that's the other thing. I get these morons out there that say, well, it's for our safety, and I don't need people like you running around there affecting somebody else and then they die. Listen, if you're that afraid, you're not that big of a scaredy cat, stay home. Stay home, sit on your couch, listen to mainstream media, stare out the window, because you know what? I'm going to be out there with everybody else, the critical thinking people, that have their own mind. They're not brainwashed, they're not morons. I'm going to be out there walking in the park. I'm going to be out there continuing to make money, make more money than what I am now, because I'm restricted what I can do, because there's other things that I do. I'll be out there living life, enjoying life. And I'm going to say this about the virus. There's no doubt there's a virus out there, and it is deadly to some groups of people. Those who have heart problems and those of the elderly. There's a problem. This virus, in my opinion, we should not be afraid of it. We should respect it. I think that's the best way to put it, people. Don't be afraid of it. Respect it. Wash your hands. You know what I got in here? I took 91 91% alcohol. I filled it up about 2/3 of the way, and I put some water in that. I spray my hands. Simple as that. I go in the store, I come back out, I clean my hands. Wash your hands, people. It's getting transmitted 2 ways, but the main specific way it's being transmitted is from hand to mouth. I didn't make this up. There's a doctor works in a hospital in New York. He did a video. He said, "This is how you're getting it." He says, "I work in the critical care where the people have the virus." He says, "I keep my mask on. I'm mindful of what I touch. I keep my hands washed all the time." And wearing a glove, there's one right here. This is ridiculous. Okay? This is a waste of money, people. All that's doing, these gloves are doing, is causing trash in the parking lot. I don't know who you morons are out there that are leaving your gloves in the parking lot. You need to knock it off, okay? Stop wearing with the gloves. The con virus only is attracted to certain kinds of cells. These cells have a receptor on it that virus is looking for. And those cells are primarily in your intestines, they're in your lungs, they're in the mucosae of your, the mucous linings of your sinuses, and your throat, your mouth. That's what it's looking for. It's not looking for skin. So if you touch the virus with your skin, you're not, as far as I know, you're not getting it. So again, if you apply your theory, wash your hands, stop having your fingernails for lunch, stop picking your nose and touching shit and giving it to everybody else. When you go in the grocery store, you sanitize your hands before you walk in. When you get done with the grocery store, you sanitize your hands again when you're leaving. That's how we beat that virus. Now, we have a certain sector of society that is a very high risk. Those with heart problems, heart disease problems, or immune deficiency compromise, and our elderly folks. These are the people that we need to isolate. These are the people we need to protect and keep an eye on. Because these are the people that are dying. That's just a fact, folks. This is the facts that I see in the business. I'm in the business. I see what's dying. We just need to get back to work. We need to stop living from a position of fear. And there's so many people out there that are living from a position of fear. And the government and the swamp, whatever it is that whatever conspiracy group you want to call it, because I know there's other channels out there that got this big conspiracy theory going on. I don't know if I buy it. But they're definitely marketing. And everything you see on TV is always marketing. It's based on fear. You know, LifeLock? It's all about, don't let this happen to your family. Do you, and they have the other one, insurance benefits to bury your loved one. Are you going to be ready at that time? It's all fear-based, and they are marketing, and some of you morons out there are taking it hook, line, and sinker. Again, if you want to stay home and you want to be immobilized by fear, then, that's your business. But don't cry to me you need money. Don't cry to me you're hungry. Don't cry to me you need some kind of bailout. You brought it on yourself. And for you people out there, they got angry because I made a video about sheeples waving a flag and how I think they're full of shit. Well, I still think that today. Nothing's changed. Because if you really believe in the flag and what it represents, you'd be protesting right now that you get your rights back. Because right now, your First Amendment rights are out the door. You don't have any. You don't have any. You're right. Your First Amendment rights about as probably extends to going to the grocery store, maybe Lowe's and Home Depot, and that's it. You go to the wrong place at the wrong time, and you got some clown in a suit with a badge over there, ready to put handcuffs on you. Is that the kind of country you want to live in? You want to live where the cops? That's what the cops are doing, checking to make sure you're not where you're not supposed to be because some government idiot said you can't. Some jackass Murphy says you can't. And how much longer are you going to sit in your house and do nothing? What are you going to do? When you're going to get upset when they finally turn your cable TV off? Because that'll be, that is my opinion. That's when the world's going to wake up. The lily whites are going to wake up. Oh my God, my cable TV is off. What am I going to do now? Yeah. Like, I have said, nothing in this country changes till it affects lily white America. And I'm waiting for, that's the one good thing I watch. I wait till when they, the lily whites, when they get their cable TV turned off and can't pay their car insurance. And all of a sudden they're crying and whining, I need help, I need help. Look, you jackass, this all could end tomorrow morning. Just get up and say, I'm not following this stupid order anymore. It's ridiculous, it's counterproductive, and it's ruining the state. The state is going bankrupt, people. And the great thing is I heard Senator McConnell out there said, you blue states out there, you're not getting nothing. Well, good. I hope so. Send all the government workers home. You want to shut the parks down, but yet the government workers are still there? The thumb up their ass? No, send them home. Why should they get paid while you and I are out there, aren't making any money, can't pay our taxes, or living hand to mouth, whatever? This is crazy, people. I didn't mean to make this a half-hour rant, but I hope you stuck it out to the end. And to you people out there that tell me I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm sick and I'm not going to survive the COVID, I probably already had it and survived it. I'd be willing to bet if I took the antibody test, I probably have it. I'm going to live a long, miserable life, people. Don't worry about it. As far as that guy out there saying I look like I'm well in my 60s, I got news for you. I'm 59 years old. I'll be 60 in June, and I'm doing just fine. All right, let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, if you don't like my channel, you don't like what I have to say, unsubscribe, go away. I don't need you. I don't care if I have 200 subscribers. I don't do this for the money. I do it for the people who want to listen. I do it for the free thinkers. But if you want to be a moron and you don't like what I have to say, or maybe you're up, somebody out there said that I was trashing or disrespecting my supporters, my subscribers. Why? Because I'm not out there with a camera following some cop around, bothering them? You know what? If that's what you're looking for, you're not going to find it here, not at least anytime soon. So I suggest you go over to the other channel, go over to our High Desert Community Watch, Phil will cuss out a few cops. I know some of you people out there like that. Or maybe you can go over to that other guy down there in Texas, the one that had all kinds of problems, was accused of doing some things he shouldn't have. You can go watch his recycled videos. Yeah, that'd be cool. If that's what you want, you're not finding it here. I don't need you, I don't want you. So if you don't like what I'm doing now, you don't like my content, you don't like the direction, you don't like my attitude, you don't like what I have to say, hasta la vista, baby. Get lost. I don't need you. I'll rebuild this channel up to the people that I want. That's why it's called New Jersey Exposed. I'm exposing New Jersey. I'm exposing the bullshit. And if that's not what you're into, leave. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. I don't care if there's 200 people on this channel watching this, subscribed and watching. I don't care. I really don't. I don't make any money off this channel. I do this out of my own personal reasons. This channel costs me money because I have to pay for the gas to go to the things I'm doing, buy the equipment when it breaks, computers, programs, uploading, the time it takes me invested to do these videos. I don't just do some stupid 5-minute video and upload it I package them. I try to do a good job on them. If you don't like it, I don't know, maybe go to that retarded lady down in Neptune. She'll stand out there and she'll audit an intersection. You can watch cars go by. Is that what you're into? All right, I know I said it before. If you let me know what you think in the comment section. Till next time, people. If you like what I do, share it, subscribe, pass it along.